Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Chairman and Moderator, good afternoon to you all. In 2009, a 16-year-old transgendered individual was arrested by police officers. He was held for 6 days without attending court, although it is mandatory in Guyana to have the person attend court, the first court date, which was the following Monday. He was held for 6 days without a hearing. After the hearing, he was remanded to prison. During his stay in prison, he was repeatedly raped by inmates. The health workers in the prison's infirmary turned a blind eye to this. The prison officers turned a blind eye to this. He came to SASOD with this report. This is just one of the many reports that SASOD has documented throughout the years. In 2003, SASOD was formed, and the main aim of SASOD is to see to the eradication of discrimination on the grounds of sexual orientation and gender identity. We believe in we support the views of equal rights for all persons and work in the areas of homophobia, specifically when it relates to health, human rights, and homophobia, health, and human rights, specifically dealing with these issues as it relates to transgendered LGBT people. Currently, the Republic of Guyana, along with 10 other English-speaking Caribbean territories, have laws on their books that criminalize same-sex sexual activities between consenting males. These laws are not gender neutral. Females are excluded from these laws. These crimes carry sentences that range from 2 years in some territories to a maximum of life imprisonment in territories such as Guyana and Barbados. Although it can be said that SASOD is not aware of any prosecuted cases where consenting male adults were prosecuted for same-sex sexual intimacy, and it may be a fact that these laws are seldomly implemented, that gives police officers and private citizens alike the belief that their discriminatory actions are legitimized by these laws. The LGBT population of Guyana, and in particularly the transgendered individuals, are constantly victims of harassment by police and other private citizens. In February 2009, the state sanctioned crackdowns on the transgendered individuals in particular. During these crackdowns, several male-to-female transgendered persons were arrested, prosecuted, and convicted for a law under our colonial inherited laws, cross-dressing. On February 19th, a year later, in 2010, SASOD, in alliance with a few lawyers in Guyana and human rights activists in St. Lucia and some of the other islands, came together and filed a constitutional case in Guyana to have these laws repealed. Although the Caribbean region has a tarnished history when it comes to LGBT people, just recently in August, the former president Fidel Castro announced that made headlines when he apologized to the LGBT community for the treatment that they received after the years of the revolution. On the Americas level, SASOD has been actively involved in a coalition with Latin America and Caribbean LGBT groups since the late 2006, pressing for recognition and advancement on sexual orientation and gender identity issues in the inter-American human rights system. Guyana and the rest of the Caribbean territories signed 3 consecutive OAS resolutions in 2008, 2009, and the latest being 2010, to end violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. When we get back to the capitals, there's a different story. Although these resolutions were unanimously adopted, there have been no moves by Guyana or any other Caribbean territory, that's English-speaking Caribbean territory that we know of, to repeal discriminatory laws and enact protection from discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. We've been working closely with our Caribbean partners, more particularly J-Flag from Jamaica and SASH Bahamas, and the Coalition for Sexual Inclusion in Trinidad and Tobago. In August 2010, 27 to the 29th, SASOD, in collaboration with Global Rights and the International Gay and Lesbian Human Rights Commission, with support from the Open Society Institute, hosted a regional workshop and a preparatory meeting for the Caribbean LGBT activists who are working on the thematic reports of rights violation in the region, to present it at the next thematic hearing for the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights in October or November later this year. And those are some of the issues that SASOD is directly involved in at present. Thank you.
Thank you.